Let's play either or the quarterback edition. Here we go. Chris Canty, Zach Wilson or Sam Darnold? Who you got?
I'm going with Zach Wilson. Sam Darnold is just good enough to get you fired. And what I mean by that is he keeps you chasing after this potential. Everybody wants to talk about all of these different reasons why he had success. All I hear is excuses, and I'm tired of it. He's still a huge question mark. And if I got to keep asking the question of whether or not he can do the job, eventually the answer is going to be no. The Jets need to take a quarterback with the second overall pick.
All right, I'm done talking to you. Let's go to the next one. Field Yates. Tua or Justin Fields? Who you got?
All right, so for the Dolphins, the answer is Tua. But in a vacuum, I'm going with Justin Fields. I just see so much poise, so much potential here with Justin Fields. He had a couple of games in college against quality competition where he was not at his best. But the Clemson tape from the college football semifinal this past year will be something I'll always remember about Justin Fields. I love the player.
Played hurt, played well. Someone seems to be falling down some boards. Rob Ninkovich, Mac Jones or Jimmy G? Who you got?
I'm going Jimmy G, the Chi-Town kid. He's going to be a great fit back in New England if they can get him back to New England. Look, he's been there. He knows what to expect. He's been coached by Bill Belichick. He knows the pressures involved. So guess what? Go and get Jimmy G. Your team will be better for it.
Ninko loves him for two reasons. He's a former teammate and he's a Chi-Town kid. Meanwhile, let's go to Foxborough because that's really what we were looking at there. Jimmy G may be reunited with Bill. Feels like it's on the table. And the man who knows all is Mike Reiss, our outstanding Patriots reporter. Mike, we've been talking here about how the Patriots have an opportunity to get much better really fast. But the big question remains, what are they going to do at quarterback? What's the answer?
Well, let's start with the draft, Greeny. I think when we talk about their strategy and their approach, they're all in right now on the draft quarterbacks. They tipped us off by attending Trevor Lawrence's pro day. They were one of just 17 teams to do that. Now, think about that, Greeny. They have no shot at Trevor Lawrence. They pick 15th overall in the draft. So why are they there? They want the most thorough evaluation of the entire class. So when they get to the draft and they start thinking more about strategy, they can make a determination. Do we want to trade up a little bit? Do we want to stand pat like we did in 2014 and Jimmy Garoppolo fell to us in the second round? So that's all information that they're gathering right now, and they'll see where that process takes them.
I get that, Mike, but here's the deal. Night one of the draft is 8 weeks from today. Free agency is less than 2 weeks from today. The scenario you just laid out suggests that they're not going to be in on a lot of these free agents. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is that what we should take from that, the Ryan Fitzpatricks and others of the world?
I think anything is possible with Bill Belichick, Greeny, but the point that I would make on that is if they don't think there's an answer, they're not just going to check the box for the sake of checking the box. Bill Belichick says it quite a bit. If you draft for need or if you sign a player for need and overpay, chances are that's going to be a need for you the next year as well. So they'll explore all their options. A lot of this too, Greeny, is out of their control. You've talked about the quarterback carousel quite a bit the last few weeks. They might have an opportunity that's available to them that they don't know right now, so they want to leave themselves perhaps some flexibility to capitalize on that.
And I would just throw the name Jimmy Garoppolo back into it. Started there. There is a perception, at least externally, that Bill Belichick loved him and still likes him. Does that feel like a real possibility?
So if Jimmy Garoppolo is available to the Patriots, I believe that he would be number one on their list. They love him in Foxborough. That being said, Greeny, you can't make another team trade you, their player. And John Lynch, the general manager out in San Francisco, is on the record as saying, he believes Jimmy is their guy this year, unless they can find someone better. Who might that be? I think if you're the Patriots, you can't bank on that, Greeny, so you got to start thinking of other scenarios.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that someone, obviously, at least one of those someones could be Deshaun Watson that they could figure out someone for in a trade. But again, to sort of sum it up here, your general feeling on this is that it is likelier they will make a move at quarterback in the draft than it is they will make one before then.
So, Greeny, I'm thinking a placeholder. Whatever move they make right now, I don't think it'll be a permanent move. It would be the type of thing that will continue to give them flexibility. So whether that's bringing back Cam Newton as an example, like you can bring him back and still be aggressive in the draft, even if it's that doesn't mean you can't draft another quarterback. So I think whatever they do, it'll be based in flexibility. The idea that this might not be our number one option, our number one guy going forward, but he can get us as a bridge to where we might ultimately end up.
All right, outstanding. Mike Reiss, always a pleasure. Thank you very much. Whatever happens, you know that we'll get it first from you. I just have a moment here to bring this to the rest of my crew. And Field Yates, I want to come to you on this if I can. There you are. The idea of Jimmy Garoppolo becoming available. I mean, we all love it, right? Ninkovich loves it. Everyone loves the idea. But to Reiss's point, he needs to become available. How does that happen?
Well, the draft comes around and free agency comes around too, Greeny, because it's one thing for John Lynch to say in mid-February that we're committed to Jimmy Garoppolo. I want to see what happens on April 29th when the 49ers are currently scheduled to have the 12th overall pick. What if a player like Justin Fields starts to drop down the board to pick 5 or 6, and the 49ers are saying, we'll move mountains to acquire Justin Fields with the 6th, 7th, 8th overall pick. If that means trading our 12th overall pick and a first-round pick in future years, I just have been down this road, or we have been down this road too many times where GMs say things that are declarative statements early in the offseason and they prove to be fool's gold later. Jimmy G could certainly return to San Francisco, but I'm keeping my eyes on the 49ers as being very opportunistic this offseason.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.